Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool wooden wall crank telephone, and this is Mary's telephone from New Jersey. And this is the initial checkout of this telephone. We're going to run through it a little bit here. We have a plaque here that says Chicago Telephone Supply Company, Elkhart, Indiana, USA. So that's pretty cool. This has had an older style conversion done to the telephone already, and Mary said I think they moved and this telephone hasn't worked since. It has some issues now and it's not working at all. And they also left the cord for the receiver capsule too short. That needs to be lengthened up, and we need to make it longer. We also want to take a look at the inside, and they have some wires hanging here that would have been to the old line for your line cord, basically. What we want to do is we're going to install a modular port so Mary can hang this telephone and install it, and then plug any line cord into it, any length, any color, makes it for an easy, clean, plug-and-play connection. Now, somebody was looking for an issue with this telephone because the bells do not ring anymore when you crank it, and they have both bell wires on one of the leads of the solenoid. So that's wrong automatically. We want to go through and check all of our wiring, make sure everything's proper, and get everything working. We want to go through the crank. The crank does turn, but it's sluggish and it's slow. It needs to be cleaned, oiled, and adjusted. Now it has a rotary. We want to go through that, make sure that's oil cleaned and adjusted, and everything's wired properly. They had it loose. That gives you a look at the rotary. And then they have a network inside. So we need to make sure everything's wired properly, and there's going to be some issues because the telephone isn't working at this time. We also want to install a circuit. When we crank our crank, it's turning very slowly and it needs to be freed up. We also want to install that circuit that allows you to walk up to this telephone and crank the crank and ring the bells, but not backfeed any voltage into the telephone line. And when you get a call, ring cycle comes in, your telephone bells will ring also. Now, at some point, this telephone, Mary said, rang, and it did ring. What we found out was that there was a set of bells somebody had installed in this area, and some of the older conversions were like that, because if you walk up to this telephone and install a line cord to it or give it dial tone, basically what's going to happen is going to short the line down, because your magneto at this point would be directly in line with everything, and so that would just short your line down. That's why we have to create that circuit that breaks the magneto away from the line. And so there's going to be quite a bit of work with this telephone. We're just going to have to go through it, troubleshoot everything, and make our repairs. So we'll go ahead and show you a schematic that they had inside. And that says modified 317 type Monarch magneto wall. So basically that was inside the telephone. And they have a model number here, N517CG. So it's a very cool telephone, and we're going to get this telephone repaired for Mary. And we'll come back and we'll get some more video of this as we move forward in the repair and conversion. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now. And basically the telephone has been finished up with the repair and conversion, but we had one last issue that we wanted to take care of. And the receiver capsule, we lengthened the line that goes back to the telephone, but there was a rattle in the receiver capsule, and we could not get the cap off. So basically what's happened here is it was glued. We actually had to take a heat gun and heat it up to get it apart. And we're probably going to have to do some type of gluing it back together again when we repair it. But this is what we found. And so we just have a mess of wires here that need to be repaired. It's not going to fly all taped together. So we want to get that issue repaired, and then we'll come back and we'll do our final checks. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with a repair and conversion of this wooden wall crank telephone. And so what we want to do is start our final checks. And we'll go ahead and crank the unit and ring the bells. We also want to send this telephone a ring cycle, so we'll go ahead and use the analyzer like you were getting a call. I'll let that go one more time and we'll give you some dial tone. We also want to click the hook switch, and that causes dial tone to go away. If you watch that red light on the analyzer, every time I tap on the transmitter, you see that red light light up. That's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. And we've used this telephone so we know that it receives, transmits, the bells are ringing when you get a ring cycle or a call coming in. They ring when you crank the magneto. Now we want to go ahead and remove our receiver and give you some dial tone. We'll set that down. We'll go ahead and open the unit because we want to dial our numbers out. So if you watch the analyzer, you'll watch the numbers roll by. I'm going to end in a 2. We've also installed our modular line port, so all Mary has to do is install this telephone, bring in a line cord, any length, any color, plug it right into the modular line port, and it's ready to go. It makes for a simple, easy plug-and-play connection. We've also installed our circuit that allows you to get a phone call and ring the original bells, but yet when you walk up to this unit and crank the crank and ring the bells, it does not backfeed any voltage into the telephone line. Now that we know that this telephone has been repaired and converted, we can return it to Mary and she can enjoy this telephone again. It's a very cool wooden wall crank telephone in very good condition. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.